Fuck this shit. Start the titles! Welcome to my review of The Dark Tower, directed by Nikolag Arcel, based on the novel by Stephen King. So, before the release of it later this year, we do have another Stephen King novel being adapted, and it's The Dark Tower. I must confess to you, I have never read a single Stephen King book, so this review, I can't compare this to the book. I just haven't read the book. So I apologise about that. I'm not really an avid reader, so... Anyway, okay, so... The plot is very confusing, so I'm basically going to read it off the IMDb scroll. So, okay. The last gunslinger, Roland Deschain, has been locked in an eternal battle with Walter O'Dim, also known as the Man in Black, determined to prevent him from toppling the Dark Tower, which holds the universe together. With the fate of the world at stake, a good and evil will collide in the ultimate battle, as only Roland can defend the tower from the Man in Black. And that is essentially your plot of The Dark Tower. The Dark Tower. Oh. It's very sad to know that the trailer for this movie is actually better than the actual movie. The trailer made this film look kind of decent, but in the end, this movie was a big pile of crap. I was shocked. I'm shocked. I mean, you know, in fairness, okay, not every film that comes out can be good, but this, oh my god, The Dark Tower is a terrible film. I'm sorry, guys. You know, I tried my very best. I just could not get into this movie. I just couldn't. I'm sorry. It's not because it's Stephen King. It's just because the filmmaking itself was terrible. I mean, I think the biggest issue with this film is the storytelling. The storytelling is just a mess. I do not know what the fuck was going on in the plot. Even now, I still don't understand it. I mean, okay, I get the basic gist of it, that basically Matthew McConaughey's character, Walter, is using the children to destroy the tower somehow, for some reason, and Idris Elba is the gunslinger. He wants revenge for the death of his dad, and it's, you know, that's as much as I understand. And the boy, Jake, is has dreamt about all this. But the problem is with the storytelling that nothing is explained. Nothing. They're trying to cram it all into a 90-minute run or 95-minute runtime, and it's a mess. It's a total mess, and as a result, I am still fucking confused. I don't know what the fuck is going on in this story, and because of that, I didn't care, and I lost interest pretty much from the beginning to the very end. Ugh. It's just terrible. I mean, you know, it's not good enough. I'm sorry. Like, you know, I'm not gonna sugarcoat this. I'm not gonna sing my praises for something that I don't believe is actually good. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I think another problem is that this movie is just way too slow. It is just way too slow. I mean, I tried to keep interested, but gradually I just gave up. I nearly slept through this film. I did see it quite late, to be fair, but it's such a major disappointment. I mean, you're not going to get a rant about this because it's more just like, oh, okay, I'm not angry, I'm just disappointed. There's nothing to be angry about. Actually, there is, but we'll get to that in a sec. Yeah, and I mean, it's a nothing story. I mean, I just didn't give a fuck. It's a who cares plot. I mean, I'm sorry. I mean, maybe the book is better. Well, the book is obviously better, but maybe the book explains everything more clearly. Because I do feel like, I mean, I agree with Harry Thomas Pictures. This is wasted potential. You have a great concept, kind of intriguing concept about this tower, and there's a lot of there's a lot of mythos behind this, and I'm sure Stephen King's idea is very good, but the execution of this idea is just a mess. It's a jumbled mess. I just don't understand what the fuck is going on. I mean, and oh god, I mean, from the first to the second to the third act, all 3 acts of this movie, plodding and boring and dull. They should have called this movie The Dull Tower. Oh god. But for me, the worst scene of this movie was definitely the ending. The big climax, you know, it's the big battle, it's the big fight between Walter and Roland, you know, Idris Elba and Matthew McConaughey. It's all been building up to this. It has all come down to this, and then they cop out. They absolutely cop out. You know, it makes me wonder. I mean, basically, what happens is, spoiler alert. If you actually want to see this movie, spoiler alert. Turn away now. I'm about to spoil the ending. The ending is basically that Roland shoots a bullet. It rebounds, and then well, no, it doesn't rebound, sorry. He shoots a bullet into the portal machine, and it destroys the tower. What? What? I just saw that one, was like, what? So we waited 90 minutes just for that? That is ridiculous! That is a crock of shit! Oh my god, what a completely unsatisfying ending! Oh, fuck me. It makes me think that this is such a waste of time, because if Matthew McConaughey's character really wants to destroy this fucking tower, then why didn't he just blow it up? I mean, surely it's pretty easy to get hold of a gun. Surely all you need to do is just shoot the damn portal machine. If it's that easy, why didn't he do it in the first place? See, this is what I mean. This is why this fucking annoys me, because you have a clear story. It's intriguing. It's not really exciting. It's intriguing to an extent, and yet they cop out with the fucking anticlimax. It's such an anticlimactic ending. There's a big fight, and then that's it, done, blown up. Are you fucking kidding me? Oh, what a fabulously disappointing film. And you know, I mean, okay, the cast are certainly trying. I mean, okay, Idris Elba, he's pretty good as the gunslinger. He does a good job, and I think he's serviceable for this movie. Matthew McConaughey as Walter, he's a pretty crap villain, to be honest. I mean, he doesn't do anything. Like, he's trying so hard to make this work. He really is. He's trying so hard to make this menacing. I just don't think that the film surrounding him is any good, and the script doesn't lend itself to him at all, which is another problem. So, yeah, sorry about that. And the young boy Tom Taylor, who plays Jake, who's the young boy who's kind of the main protagonist. Jake as a character, he's okay. He's kind of dull at points and uninteresting. I mean, I didn't even really care with his emotional storyline that he lost his dad, and he didn't really, like, everybody thinks he's crazy with the whole things. I mean, with his drawings and stuff. Like, we've kind of seen this before, like when people have imagined things, and you know, it's like in films, and it's like, oh, you're crazy for thinking this, and then it turns out to be real, and they're like, God, it's such a cliche. I mean, obviously this is in Stephen King's novel, so I'm sure the novel displays this much better, but I just didn't give a crap, really. I mean, yeah, there's a couple of emotional scenes. I will say this movie's not a complete fail. There are some decent moments. I mean, for one thing, the movie's visually very nice. It's not visually stunning, but it's visually nice enough to look at. And there's a pretty good action climax, and some of the acting is pretty good, and there are a couple of emotional scenes, I'm not going to lie. I mean, towards the end of the second act of the movie, there are some emotional strings that pulled, which I thought, okay, at least I appreciate that, but the rest of the movie was just dull, boring, just way too slow. I mean, I like the relationship that Jake had with his mother. That was nice. But again, I mean, this movie's just nothing really happens in this movie. It's built up as being this big sort of epic sci-fi adventure. But really, it's not. It's a drag of a movie for 95 minutes as well. Fuck, I mean, I thought, okay, at least it would go quick, but it didn't. It didn't. Again, there's nothing really to rant about. I mean, if I was a fan of the book, then I probably would rant, because I can imagine fans of the book being extremely pissed off at this. But yeah, you know, that's nobody else in the cast really to mention. There's a cameo from Jackie Earle Haley, who's a very, not necessarily unknown actor, but relatively disregarded actor. His cameo is nice. So overall, guys, I mean, really, there is nothing to say about this movie. I can't recommend it, really. I think the ending is anticlimactic. It's too slow. You know, performances are okay. The visual's nice. But it's dull. And the storytelling is so piss poor. You know, and it's so confusing. I just sat there for the whole movie thinking, what the fuck is going on? I've got no clue. It's a mess. It's an absolute mess. So the only things that I really like are some of the acting and the visuals and some of the action. So I'm going to give The Dark Tower 3 out of 10. Yeah, it's pretty bad. But hey, they can't all be good. And I'm going to shock you guys by saying that I will be reviewing the Emoji Movie, or, well, I'll likely be ranting on the Emoji Movie, as I'm actually going to see it tomorrow. The reason being, tomorrow, at the time I'm recording this, it will be tomorrow. The reason being is because I have a friend who wants to see it, just for curiosity, not because she really wants to, but really just to see it. To see what it's like, to see how bad it really is. If it is going to be, you know, the biggest stinker of the year, then I want to be wide awake to witness it. Okay, guys, so that's my review of The Dark Tower. What do you think of it? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Put your comments down below, let me know. And what do you think of Stephen King as well? Put your comments down below, let me know. I'm sorry if this has been a very negative review, but it's nice to, you know, have some positive and negative stuff, you know, balances it out a bit. So yeah, stay tuned for my review of Titanic. That will be coming very soon. And shout out to Harry Thomas. Please go and watch his Dark Tower review. And yeah, so thank you guys all for watching. As always, I'm Mr. TARDIS11. See ya.